I'm Emma and I'm working as technical manager here at the lovely Liverpool Philharmonic Hall.
And I'm Ellie, I'm working as the production technician apprentice at the Philharmonic Hall.
So Ellie, how did you find your path into becoming a production technician?
So in school I found my way into helping out with the theatre's productions, got into doing a bit of lights, pressing go, just started off small, eventually worked my way up to being the sound engineer on them.
Okay.
From there I did some work experience here, which was quite fun. Did 2 sets of work experience and I did 1 set of work experience at AdLib, audio, sound and visuals. Enjoyed it so much that when they offered the apprenticeship I was like, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
That is what I would like to do.
That's good.
And how did you get into it?
My path into the industry was a little bit different to yours, Ellie, in that I went to university, but there were lots of different things I did along the way. So I was really interested in music when I was younger and I wanted to be a recording engineer. But when I went to college to learn to do that, I found that I just didn't like the environment at all. Being in a small room with a couple of people concentrating in a very detailed way on one thing, I just found to be a bit too intense. So I tried loads of different things. I tried hospital radio. I thought radio might be something that would interest me, but again, that kind of seemed a little bit intense. And then I came back to kind of doing gigs and things, so I basically hustled my way into local venues while I was learning in college and asked people if I could come and help them and learn. Did all different types of gigs. I was kind of working crazy hours around college for kind of beer and advice, really. But as soon as I found that I could do live sound, that was it. I knew it was what I wanted to do. And it went from there, really. So I went on to university where I did sound technology, which was more of a physics degree than an arts degree, which was strange because I hated maths when I was in school. But I learned to love it, came through theatre, started working in theatre when I left university, which was a little bit different to what we do here. But that helped me to learn the skills to eventually come here.
Did you find that the fact that you went to university, did that help you a lot, or?
I found that I learned quite a lot of theory. So my degree was a physics degree rather than a practical degree, which has been useful in terms of here we deal with some challenges around acoustics, and now there's a push to develop the health and safety around people's hearing. So there's a lot of kind of interesting stuff there. But I think mostly the practical skills that I learned helping people in bars and clubs and doing crew work, helping people load in and load out at venues, and those kind of jobs that I did around university were probably more useful skills and more the kind of skills that I use day to day now. I think learning on the job, there's things that you won't learn in university, practical, physical things that you can only get from working on the job.
I know for a fact that the day-to-day practical skills will help me very much if I progress in this career, which I plan to. Though I do think I need some theory, like you've gone through. So, as you mentioned, the acoustics, I don't completely understand, which I think you would maybe need some higher education for. It may not need to be a university degree. It could be a simple 1-year college degree.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I've gone for on the job before I've gone to any more higher education, because I feel like I've got a better understanding of everything that there is.
Yeah.
But I am hoping to go to higher education after to learn more theoretical things.
What do you love about being a production technician, Ellie?
I mean, it's different every day. Usually I'll learn something every day, even if it's a small thing. That is probably one of the biggest things that I like about the job. I mean, I also love the team we work with. Everyone's got a different personality and it brings the team together so much. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of camaraderie in the industry because we all kind of work long hours and, you know, sometimes things can be quite busy and you go through a little bit of stress together, but that brings us all kind of closer. So I enjoy that about it. And I think you're right, every day is completely different people. So we're really lucky in this venue in that we've got our own orchestra, which is really nice. We've got tours that visit with kind of rock and pop type of events. We do corporate events. Sometimes we even do dance and things like that. So it's a big variety of different ways of thinking and different types of people every day. So it just keeps things interesting. In my current role, which is a bit different to previously when I was a sound engineer, there's a lot of skills that I've learned that I have, finding different ways to kind of solve problems, logistical problems, really straightforward things like, will that bit of set fit through the door? Do we have enough different power feeds to help supply all the different departments? How are we going to manage to do these 300 things in one day when we've only got a really short amount of time? Is everybody in contact and communicating with each other? Do we have enough people to empty the truck? Is there going to be enough space to get all of the catering equipment in? Where are we going to put the sound engineer with his enormous desk? So there's just loads of kind of little practical problem-solving things that I do every day. And it's just kind of fun having a new little puzzle to put together every day and see it all come together and hopefully have a great show at the end of it.
Yeah, and where you try and fix all the problems and make sure everything will work for the day. Yeah. I'll be part of the team that will be doing the thing. Yeah. So I will be part of the team that's unloading the lorry, putting it on the lift, or part of the team that will be putting the desk where it should be. Yeah. So that will be very different. It's usually very different what you do to what I do on a regular basis.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have to think of solving too many problems. If I've done my job properly, you're just making sure that it all goes to the plan that's been put in place.
Yeah. When the tour gets in, it's all go.
all go all day.
All day, yeah. Hopefully. Sit down in the middle, have a break while they perform, and then at the end of the day, it's all put it back in the lorry, go to the next one.
Job done. So I guess it's all those practical skills that you can't pick up in a university setting. You have to kind of do that on-the-job training so that you understand how things work day to day. You know, the practical things like running a multi. They don't teach you how to do that in university.
No, that was one of the first things I learned when I got here, was how to run a multi. I remember going down under stage and physically learning how to do a multi. It took me a few tries, but eventually I understood how it got to the other end of the building. But there are loads of other practical things that we do every day that you won't learn in a university setting. And that's what I probably will discover if I go, that I'll know all this beforehand, which I feel like I'll have the upper hand going in, knowing all these different things and how to actually do them.
So if somebody asked me for some advice on how to get into this industry, I would say try everything. Because when I started, I thought it was recording that I wanted to do, but I learned that that environment wasn't quite what I expected it to be. So if there's any opportunity to do anything, even if you think that it might not quite be for you, you might find that when you get there, it's different to what you expected. So you might find that career path that you didn't know existed when you get there, and you might think, oh yeah, maybe that would be for me. Don't turn down any opportunity to learn more about what you can do, because there are so many roles within our industry that I never knew when I started were a thing, and that, you know, we kind of get involved in here and there every day. So yeah, try everything, do everything, never say no to an opportunity to learn.
And if you don't know what you're doing, it's so acceptable to ask. Everyone needs to ask sometimes. I know when I first started, I was so nervous about not knowing the answer to the question. Mm-hmm. So somebody asked me for something and I'd be like, I genuinely don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. It's okay to ask what it is, because everybody's needed to ask, what is that?
So obviously we work here in the venue. We have done outside events, so we do some festival type events, and we've got some other places that we work in. But obviously our industry, a lot of that is about being on the road and touring. I've done a little bit of touring, and it's a very different way to live your life, because you could be on the road for a few months. They're very long working hours. You're in a small team of people that you are with 24 hours a day, so you have to be good at getting along with different people. It's just a really different way to live your life. You get to see lots of different places and meet very different people every day. There's obviously a lot of travelling involved. You go into different types of venues, so your challenges every day are going to be completely different. You might have different ways of kind of rigging and building your set or your sound setup because of the way the building is set up. So yeah, it's quite a unique career path because of that, I would say. I think that living on a bus with 15 or 20 people who have just been thrown together.
Seems like an experience that you should go through, just to see if you like it or not, and just to get an experience from other people's viewpoints.
Yeah. If you've got that desire to be moving around all the time and seeing lots of different things, then it's a great thing to consider. And there are loads of things within touring that you wouldn't expect. For example, catering. You can work in merchandise. You can work as a tour manager. You can work looking at the logistics of transport. You could be a bus driver or a follow spotter. There's just so many different things. Yeah. Historically, it's probably a more male-dominated industry, but I really think that that's changing. It's great that you applied for the apprenticeship and you're interested in pursuing a career as a sound engineer, because there are very few female sound engineers in the industry, but I think in the kind of 15, 20 years that I've been working as a production technician, that's really changed. And there are lots of different people from all different backgrounds that come in to do all kinds of different roles within the organisation and the industry as a whole. And I just think that's great, because it would be a very boring world if everybody in creative industries only came from one background. It takes all different types, all different skills, all different types of life experience to kind of create a team that complements each other and does all of the really varied things that are required.
Definitely. I know for a fact that our company as a whole is very diverse. I was very surprised when I got here. I was like, there's so much diversity, especially within the tech team. Yeah. I think it's great that we have so many women on the tech team already.
Yeah. I think it's the kind of industry that it's certainly more of a lifestyle. So it's kind of the type of thing that people get into when they're young. They find that they enjoy solving problems and they enjoy the live environment. And then it's something that people stick to for life. It's kind of a lifelong learning experience. And I think that's because it, like you said, that you learn something new every day, and that won't just be for the first 2 or 3 years that you're working in the industry. That'll be for a lifetime. Every day something new will come along because technologies are emerging. The challenges are endless.
I know that's what attracted me when I first just even saw what was happening here on my work experience, the different hours I liked, because I don't like the same thing every day. The 9 to 5 is not for me. And Sundays, I can work Sundays, I don't mind. I'd love a Wednesday off. That is what actually attracted me to begin with. The different hours, the difference in every day.